This video is brought to you by Team CRYO from EH220, Faculty of Chemical Engineering UiTM. This video will explain about biomass as a sustainable energy in our life. What is biomass? Biomass is a sustainable fuel that can deliver a significant reduction in net carbon emissions when compared with fossil fuels. These are some facts about biomass. First, biomass can beat oil, gas and electricity. Next, for approximately 2.5 billion people, it remains the primary source of energy for cooking and heating. Then, you can save on fuel bills until 30% to 50% when using biomass source. Lastly, it only takes 5 to 7 years to pay back time. Next, we move to the sources of biomass. Biomass is all biologically produced matter based in carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Forest residue is the biggest sources of biomass. Examples include forest residues such as dead trees, branches and tree stumps, charred clippings, wood chips and even municipal solid waste. Next is waste products or domestic waste that comes from our daily life. As example, pulp, paper and waste from paperboard industry. Lastly, another sources of biomass which comes from animal waste is animals' poops. For example, wastes come from cows, sheep, chicken and etc. There are 3 processes that involved in biomass, which includes crops processing, animal waste processing and food waste processing. First of all is crops processing. There are plant waste such as wood scraps, dust and crops waste can be collected from farmer manufacturers. It will be collected, then transported to the factory to be processed. Then, the waste is burned to heat water. The hot water will create steam. Next, the pressure from the steam spins the turbine. After that, the turbine powers the generator. The generator will create the electricity for our use. That's it for crops processing. It's very simple. Next up, animal waste is known as the problem of cow poops. The solution waste from animal farm can be collected in large tank called a digester filled with bacteria. This will allows the bacteria to eat the waste and convert it to methane gas. The methane is captured, then it will burn to heat water and create steam. The pressure of steam spins the turbine. The turbine powers the generator and lastly, the generator will create electricity. Sound familiar, right? Biomass may be the prettiest form of renewable energy and it can be a smart way to make use of waste poop to change in form of energy. Food waste is an untapped energy source which mostly ends up rotting in landfills, thereby releasing greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Food waste is an untapped energy source which mostly ends up rotting in landfills, thereby releasing greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Food waste difficult to treat or recycle since it contains high levels of sodium, salt and moisture and mixed with other waste during collection. Anaerobic digestion is the most important method for the treatment of organics waste because of its techno-economic viability and environmental sustainability. So, these are the processes. The food waste will be collected. Then, it will transfer into the anaerobic digester tank. Anaerobic digester is a device that uses a series of processing stages where small organisms break down the biomass into methane gas. The methane gas which can be used to power electric generators. This process has been found to generate approximately 260 kilowatt-hours of electricity per ton of food waste applied. Biomass also have some cons instead of pros. First, what are the pros in biomass? First, biomass is an abundant supply. Biomass also can be used in diesel engines. Next, it has fewer emissions than fossil fuel sources. Finally, auto engine can be easily be converted to run on biomass fuel. Then, after knowing the pros, so here are the cons of the biomass. First, the source must be near usage to cut transportation cost. Biomass will emit some pollution, such as air pollution. Next, biomass will increase the volume of nitrogen oxide in air. Lastly, some fossil fuels need to use in conversion of biomass energy. Then, we move to the next topic, that is sustainability. Before that, we need to know what is sustainable development. Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present generation, without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own need. Sustainable have three major elements, consists of environmental, social and economic. In aspect of environment, first is the soil quality. Next, harvest levels of wood resources. Then, water use and efficiency. Lastly, life cycle GHG emission. Next element is economy. First, gross value added. Then, energy diversity are built. After that, net energy balance. Lastly, increase in productivity. Last elements is social. Number 1 is jobs in bioenergy section. 2. Biomass used to expand access to modern energy service. 3. Change in income. Number 4. Allocation and tenure. We move to the challenges of biomass and developing it. What are them? Let's discuss it. The biggest challenge is financial issues. It is difficult to obtain financing for biomass-based power generation projects in Malaysia due to less support policies and information. It is worst by the fact that financial institutions in the country are not familiar with the financing of such business ventures. The use of biomass produces relatively high levels of particulate emissions coming from open fires or from poorly designed biomass energy plants. This emission can lead to health problems to the workers and even to the public which happen to live near the plant. Health problems such as heart disease, coronary artery disease, or congestive heart failure may occur to the people that stay near the plant.